Tom, will you introduce those that are with you?
I most certainly will.
There you go.
There's probably an on-off switch here somewhere.
No, you're on.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to introduce our Treasurer, Frank True, Commissioner Frank True, and Commissioner Co-Chair, Avi Poster. And what a pleasure it is to be here this evening.
Our threshold question, Tom, is can you operate within the mayor's proposed budget?
Well, we have operated within the proposed budget in years past. We could operate within the proposed budget for next year. However, we would not be able to accomplish what we need to accomplish.
With that, then, the floor is yours to explain that comment and talk about any of the accomplishments or needs of the Human Relations Commission.
Thank you. I'm going to do this without glasses, which is pretty impressive. Happy evening, council members and all. Thank you for taking the time to allow me to present our modest budget. As you may be aware, I am the interim director of the Metro Human Relations Commission. Nearly 10 months ago, I was asked if I might serve as interim director by Mayor Deem and was voted in shortly thereafter, replacing Carolyn Blackwell. I've already introduced my two commissioners. If I may say, Metro Human Relations Commission has a totally new team, with the longest being with the office for approximately 14 months. The team is dedicated to letting the entire community know what we do so that we may also be involved in proactive in a positive manner. In other words, celebrating what is being done correctly and promoting what needs to be done in the future. But of course, you know our mission to protect and promote personal dignity of all, protecting their safety, health, security, peace, and general welfare. We accomplish this by initiating training sessions, conversations about Title VI, and of course our non-discrimination ordinance, investigating complaints, fostering mutual understanding, tolerance, and respect among all economic, social, religious, ethnic, and other community groups. As you know, our diversity is changing on a daily basis, and we continue to do so as indicated in Nashville Next and of course the U.S. Census. Some of the things we have accomplished within the past 9 months or so have been very, very interesting. Developed a new training program and have been able to train more folks, in other words, more Metro employees, in more departments than has been accomplished in recent years. Developed an online English as a second language, ESLmap.com. If you haven't been on ESLmap.com, please do. We're very, very proud of that at a little or no cost. It is now, the platform which was developed by one of our team members, Mark Etherly, now sets the new foundation for standards for other cities and communities to follow. Prior to those in need would have to hear about the classes through word of mouth. They no longer have to do so here in Nashville. In partnership with the Metropolitan Public Schools, English Language Learners, ELL, Office, and the Metropolitan Information Technology Systems, the Metro Human Relations Commission is developing a phone-based translation system called, for the moment, the Babylon. The Babylon is going to be very, very interesting because what will end up happening, as you know, there are over 100 different languages spoken in Metropolitan Public Schools, and as teachers and schools send home information to parents, they're not always able to read it. There'll be a number on that page that they'll be able to dial in, enter the number of that page, and it'll be read to them in their language. Something that's way above all the rest, and we're very, very pleased with that. And that should be launched on or about mid-July. We helped write a proposed, the Metro Council's compassionate resolution, which allowed Nashville to be listed as the second most compassionate city in the United States. Yay, all of us here. That's pretty impressive because that list was compiled by Forbes magazine, and we couldn't quite pay for such wonderful acknowledgement of our community. Special thanks to Dina Capitani, who also coordinates this effort in our office. And I might mention in our office, as the director or interim director, there's only 3 other people besides me. We discreetly resolved many formal and informal complaints that would have negatively affected various Metro departments and the city if not dealt with correctly. In partnership with Connexion Americas, Community Food Advocates, and FASHA, the MHRC is developing a community garden that will help an entire community providing healthy, affordable food and promoting dialogue. The grand opening, by the way, will be May 31st. And the garden is in South Nashville. It's on a Metro Parks floodplain, so we're very, very appreciative of that. Assisted the health department in understanding how to best utilize the new signage to assist non-English speakers in navigating the new Lens Health Center. Developed a recurring editorial series called Moving Margins. This enables us to express our voice regarding issues facing our city. Hosted the Global Village. For the first time in history of Metro, the event had a Metro Village, showcasing almost all Metro departments. By the way, we had almost 70,000, or the largest gathering we believe for such an event for this particular Global Village. Held the second annual Student Summit at Fiscal, and by the way, it rocked. It was really well attended and really well done. Hosted the Youth Zone for Nashville Pride Event Day, coordinated various events for the Martin Luther King Day. Last but not least, we have a new monthly award to be formally announced in the next few weeks, which I know you will be very proud of. Insofar as our budget, we had requesting funding for 2 additional people or positions, bringing the number of team members to 6 from the current 4. At this point, the office has, at one point, the office had 6 positions. But with much work to do by the day, under a new executive director, whomever he or she may be, I don't take it lightly asking for 2 new positions, only because I won't be there. And I know how important those 2 new positions are going to be, making sure that at least 50 some odd, there's a question on how many departments we have in commissions, commissions are done correctly. So it's really important that each and all have a Title VI coordinator, that they're trained correctly, and that we head towards the future properly. The budget, you have seen, is some $70,000 less than last year's $436,000, showing a $365,500, a $70,000 decrease, as we have moved offices, and that money that we didn't see was reallocated as the building admin costs are less, we believe. So if you add the $70,000 back, we can make do until the next fiscal year. I certainly do appreciate your time and understanding about what this new department is doing. Thank you. Questions?
Tom, will you provide to this committee through Ms. Waller the titles and job descriptions of the positions that you're talking about? And I assume that your department has potential salary there as well. Would you get that to her in the next few days?
I will do that. Thank you.
Councilman Tigert.
Thank you, and it's good to see you as always, Tom.
Thank you.
What is the recent history of the number of complaints, cases you investigate? Is that going up, remaining steady, been down? Just and I know your comment about discreetly settling. I don't know how you count your cases then if in a situation like that.
Certainly. We have formal and non-formal cases. The formal cases are way up, and I say way up.
Could you give us some examples of the type things you investigate or look into?
Sure. We just had a case that involved a subcontractor to the city who was allegedly being underpaid via city contract, and in this case it proved to be correct. The back pay on that amounted to tens of thousands of dollars. I want to say hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I want to say tens of thousands. In addition, we have other complaints from other departments that regard Metro employees, a complaint that might be against a supervisor or someone they're working with. I can tell you that we have referred none to the state, and that we've been able to work our way through those complaints without having it cost the city. Now, prior to my arrival in September of last year, I know there was one complaint in particular that was moved on to the state and is still there, and that is outstanding. But since then, formal complaints, I would say we've had at least 9. Non-formal complaints, probably an additional 14 or 15. So it's substantial, and part of the reason there, and I want to make sure that everybody's aware of that, having a complaint is really a good thing, and here's why it's a good thing. It's not going further. And if we can settle it the way we settled it, in a manner which is great for both parties, it doesn't go any further and it doesn't cost the city anything, not only as far as money, but as far as a black eye. So.
To piggyback on Councilman Tigert's question, can you describe the relationship between the Metro Arts Commission and the Metro Human Relations Commission and the State Human Relations Commission? Because frequently we hear, well, the state could take care of those kinds of claims. So can you describe the relationship between the two and what the two different departments hear, and give us some background about how that interacts?
Sure. We have a great relationship with the State Human Rights Commission.
Sorry.
Which is, no, fine. Everybody, I'm just getting used to it myself. And what ends up happening is we're much broader than what they are. So we're able to investigate both public and private, which they're not able to do. And I don't want to speak for them, but I think housing, there's a challenge there, and they have to refer it to somebody else, and they have a lot of things they have to refer it to, if that makes sense. We're much broader than what theirs is, their mandate. In addition, certain things have been forwarded to the state only because this independent, and we are allegedly, and I'm saying that truthfully, independent, because I can be hired or fired by the commissioners. We have 17 of them, and that's how we are going to be independent. So when we investigate these things, we can do so independently, and it's my opinion, we should never send anything to the state, because we should be able to settle those things in-house or within the County of Davidson and, of course, Metro Nashville.
Thank you. Members of the Council Committee, any additional questions? Tom, if you would forward that information to Ms. Waller for the committee, we'd appreciate it. Thank you all very much for being here.
Well, thank you very much for having me.